Growing up in apartheid South Africa, I was one of those people who did not believe that the transition, after all the years of iniquity and discrimination, could transition peacefully to a democratic South Africa. And yet, somehow it happened, a relatively peaceful transformation almost 25 years ago. This, I believe, is all through the leadership of one individual, Nelson Mandela. How could Nelson Mandela forgive as the leader of a people who himself had sat 27 years in prison? Years of his life taken away, never to return. He understood the power of forgiveness. And through that power of forgiveness, he created a unity. And South Africa, with all of its challenges, continues to be a democracy through the power of forgiveness, this peaceful, relatively peaceful transformation. Let's juxtapose that for a minute with Iran. I read an incredible article a number of years ago in the Foreign Affairs magazine about the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And incredibly, the author wrote that in 1953, over 60 years ago, 65 years ago almost, as a young student, Ali Khamenei was so upset with American involvement in internal Iranian affairs in 1953 that he wrote, "It is unforgivable what they have done." And here we are, almost 65 years later, and through the leader's lack of forgiveness, drawing the entire region and indeed, God forbid, the entire world into instability, building a nuclear bomb, supporting terror, and destabilizing an entire world and region because of the inability to forgive. The power of forgiveness is one of the central ideas of what life in general and Judaism is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, is that not what Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement and Forgiveness, is all about? After all, what Hashem is saying to us is that humanity, society, cannot function without a Day of Atonement. If God will only judge the world according to the principles of mishpat, of judgment, then indeed the iniquities that we have done against Him, the horrific offenses and crimes that we've done against the expressed will of God, humanity cannot survive. And therefore Hashem says there is one day a year that has to be built into the human condition from a spiritual point of view, and that is a day of atonement. A day ki bayom hazeh, says the pasuk, yechaper alechem letaher etchem mikol chatotechem. On this day I promise that I will forgive you, I will atone for you, because I have created the potential for evil in the world, so to speak, free choice. And there is so much evil, Rahman al-Islam, and God says, I have to create the potential to forgive. And therefore on this day, no longer does God sit on his throne of justice, but Kel Melech Yoshev al Kisei Rachamim. He sits on the throne of Rachamim and says, I will forgive. I must forgive. Humanity has to be forgiven. The Jewish people, every individual, has to have the potential for forgiveness. Otherwise, the world and society cannot exist. And just as Hashem forgives, so too He says in the Mishnah, we all know the Mishnah at the end of Masechet Yom Kippur, which the Gemara explains, so too God will forgive all averot, all iniquities between man and our fellow man, only if we have the potential to forgive. We dare not stand before God asking for His forgiveness if we are unable to forgive those who've done wrong to us. And that is why the main mitzvah, if we go to the Shulchan Aruch, the main command and the main isuk, occupation of the day on Erev Yom Kippur, is to ask others that we have forgiven. Because mitzvot ben adam lechavero, ein Yom Kippur mechaper ad shiratzeh chavero. Until we ask for forgiveness, do everything we can to forgive others and to ask for forgiveness, only then does this great day of atonement work. And I want to bless all of us, all of our families, all of Klal Yisrael, indeed the entire world, that Hashem has taught us the most incredible principle that we've seen borne out in certain societies, and unfortunately others still suffering from it today, the lack of it today. The power of forgiveness, the ability to judge others not according to the principles of justice, because then things are unforgivable, but the principles of mercy and rachamim. And through the power of this day that we need to savor Itzumo Shel Yom, may we all merit Bezrat Hashem that the year 5778 should be for the entire world and for the Jewish people a year of tremendous growth, tremendous forgiveness, and only good things for each and every one of us. Chag Sameach, if one can say, for Sukkot coming up as well. Shabbat Shalom, and a meaningful fast to all and everyone.